not adjust your radio volume. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our morning take. My name is Frank Johnson.
I'm Abraham Lawrence.
I'm Nick Seaman.
And I'm Tim Goetz.
Our goal here is to show you the movie that's going on in our head when we read the Bible. Today is Thursday. It is October the 26th, I think.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So 26th, Thursday.
Episode 204.
204.
It's not your line.
I do the episodes.
Oh,
I
I
do
do
the episode.
apologize.
No,
for
you're
that.
fine.
It's okay. We can swap over.
Give Tim your notes. We're in the Joseph story, Genesis chapter 42. We're having a good time this week. It's a great story.
They are.
It's a great story. Well, we're having a better time than Jacob's kids are. At least 10 of them, anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, we left off at verse 24 yesterday. So if you want to read along with us, Genesis 42, 24 says, He turned away from them and wept. But when he returned to them and spoke to them, he took Simeon from them and bound him before their eyes. Not quite sure why he would pick Simeon, although it was definitely Simeon and Levi that sold him into slavery. So it was either it was a flip, probably a coin flip, either Simeon or Levi, but one of those two guys are staying.
Simeon, was he
Yeah.
older than Levi? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yes.
Simeon's the
He
number
might just
two.
pick the older one because he
Yeah.
should have been more responsible.
Reuben already said, listen, I told you guys
Yeah.
not to
Yeah.
do it. So he's not going to keep Reuben, although that might have been his choice had he not knew the rest of the story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the movie in my head is that he bound them right in front of them just for a little payback.
Yeah.
You know, this is what you guys did to me, so guess what?
Well, and also to have the gravity of the situation, so you do bring Benjamin back.
Yeah,
Your
listen,
brother's
this is what I'm doing right
going to
now.
rot down here in prison until you
Yeah.
bring that brother back. Joseph gave orders in verse 25 to fill their bags with grain and to restore every man's money in his sack and to give them provisions for the journey. And thus it was done for them. So he gave them grain. He gave them provisions for the journey and their money back. So, you know, a lot of people just read this pretty quickly and think he just gave them the money back. But they literally had provisions in
Yeah.
their bag, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're seeing this stuff when they're opening their saddlebags that night, right?
Oh, yeah, because just think, when you come down there to buy grain, you're going to come back with grain. They're not going to give you money to get back home and food to get back home.
That's exactly
yeah.
right. Yeah. So they loaded their donkeys with their grain, and they departed from there. And as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey fodder at the lodging place. I wonder why it's not noted who that was. Do you know who I hope it is?
Judah?
No, Levi. Because, see, Simeon and Levi, they sort of concocted this whole thing. The brothers just all went along with it. But they really hated this boy. And I'm really hoping that Levi was the guy that opened his bag and went, wait a minute, something's bad wrong here. Who knows? Maybe it was even Reuben. Boy, that would have been tough. But whoever it was, one of them opened their bag and at the lodging place. I like the way it says lodging place, too. You guys know there was no Hilton, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No Ramada Inn, no Motel 6.
Really?
We're going to leave the light on for you. And most of these lodging places, I actually did a little study of this now in Jesus' time. And, of course, this is 1,800 years before Jesus. So this is, 18 centuries before Jesus shows up. But nevertheless, I don't think the times changed much. Like technology stayed about the same. They would just find caves. There would be like caves in the side of the mountains and things like that where the animals could get out of have shelter. You could kind of get out of the rain. And they would just make that a lodging place. And there might be a guy that's actually there to help you do stuff. But a lot of times it just was empty. And if you showed up, that's just where you stayed that night. And they called that the lodging place, but it didn't necessarily have rent. Like they didn't charge you to do it. It's just a place on the side of the road where you could get out of the weather if you needed to get out of the weather.
Interesting.
That was for you, Professor.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No,
My
I'm telling you.
question is, once they feed these animals, who cleans up after them? They just leave it there and just go about their business?
I guess it fertilizes the desert there, right?
Interesting. No one's in charge of the inn, I guess.
That's one of them. All right, so verse 28. And then he said to his brothers, my money has been returned, and behold, it is even in my sack. And their hearts sank, and they turned, trembling to one another, saying, what is this that God has done to us? Why do you say that? Why do you think you said that, Nick? That God has done this to it. They didn't. You don't think they had any idea that Joseph would do something like that, right? The Egyptians certainly would not give us our money back.
Right.
God did that.
Yeah.
What do you think they thought? I love putting Nick on the spot like this.
Maybe that they're still being punished. Like the punishment will not leave them alone.
And what's going to happen when the Egyptians find out they don't have money for this grain?
Or they're going to chase him down, or well, their brother.
Maybe they're chasing them down right as we speak, right?
Yeah, and their brother's dead.
Yes, Simeon's no
Yeah,
more.
and it even goes back to even what Joseph said. He was just like, I fear God. He physically said that to them when they came. So they're putting one and one together and coming up with two. Like, man, we're in deep trouble right now.
Yeah. Anything, Tim? All right, just wonder what everybody thought about that. Verse 29, when they came to their father Jacob, so now they've made it back home. And we've said it's probably not that long of a journey, maybe 8 to 10 days, something like that. It's not really that far back to, I forget exactly where he's at. Where is he at? He's south of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
So it's not even all the way back to Jerusalem yet. But anyway, they came to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan. They told him all that happened to them, saying, the man, the Lord of the land, spoke harshly with us and took us for spies of the country. But we said to him, we are honest men. We're not spies. We are 12 brothers.
What I like is they don't even lead with, oh, by the way, one of our brothers got captured. They just tell the whole story, and then they end up with that. Like, could you not have said that first?
do you think Jacob is going like 1, 2? Somebody's missing.
No, he's probably like, oh, he's
Do
just.
I need to call roll here or what?
He's checking in the cattle. He's doing
No,
something.
he's probably just as long as Benjamin's here. Oh, there he is.
No, he's got Benjamin by the arm. Like, hey,
Yeah, that's a good point.
where's
though.
everybody at?
That's a good point, though, Abe. I never really thought about that. He's not even going, like, as they come up, like, okay, now there's only 9 of you. What is going on? I didn't even send Benjamin. Now you see why I didn't send Benjamin, right?
Every time I send it, we lose one.
Yeah.
We told him one is no longer alive, and the youngest is with our father today in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the land, said to us, by this I will know that you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers with me and take grain for the famine of your households and go. But bring your youngest brother to me, that I may know that you are not spies, but honest men, and I will give your brother to you, and you may trade in the land. And of course, Jacob just packs up Benjamin the next morning and goes, well, we got to get Simeon back, so take him on down there. Yeah.
Jacob's like, repeat that last part. I didn't quite catch that.
Benjamin's going to Egypt? I don't think so.
Okay, he's probably like, tell Simeon to come out from hiding. You guys,
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood for your
Come on,
jokes.
stop it already.
Yeah.
What, did you guys kill Simeon off too? Were you going to bring back a coat for him too?
Oh, man.
He was trying to circumcise these Egyptians, Dad. What were we talking about? Now it came about as they were emptying their sacks that, behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. See, I don't think that's another reason why I don't think it was that many days, because they only needed a little bit of feed and provisions to get back home. And probably the money was one of the first things they threw back in the sack, and then they put the grain on. So
Yeah, 'cause they
I don't
put
think
that on
Joseph
top.
wanted them finding it. In fact, if anything, he might have actually instructed, only leave the money in one. That way they don't get too nervous. Listen, if they would have all seen the money that first night, they might have just went on back to Egypt. Like, whoa, whoa. Because, we didn't even pay for this, and we're not thieves. Because one thing they are not thieves. They're not trying to steal the grain. So, anyway, there you go. So, anyway, they
Maybe
find out
liars
that...
and we may be murderers,
Yeah,
but we're not.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hated our brother, but, I mean, that doesn't make us thieves. And when they and their father saw their bundles of money, they were dismayed, to say the least. Their father, Jacob, said to them, you have bereaved me of my children. Joseph is no more. Simeon is no more. And now you would like to take Benjamin? All these things are against me. And then Reuben spoke to his father, saying, you may put my 2 sons to death if I do not bring him back to you. Put him in my care, and I will return him to you. And that's all we can do today, folks. I'm sorry. We're going to have to save a little bit more for tomorrow. Just 9 of them, though.
Yeah. Poor Jacob. Let my people go.